Hi there. For a startup, and that too on a growth stage or early stage, uh, in my opinion, sales is one of the most important function. And at BookingJini, we are for sure product-driven organization with a very strong engineering team in place. However, sales has been our very important department with us. It is the sales that surges our growth to almost 2x every year on year. And I'm very proud to say that the sales team is well trained and well nurtured. They bring about lot of value to our organization. So in this department, let me introduce you one of the finest person that we have, and a hardcore sales guy having more than 6 years of experience. He is none other than Piyush with me today. So hi Piyush, how are you?
Thank you, sir. Thank you for asking. I'm great. I'm doing great.
So Piyush, I remember years ago we met, and you have been since then driving Salesforce in BookingJini. So I'm really looking forward to know the experience so far you had with BookingJini, and then we will move on.
So when I joined BookingJini, I was a bit skeptical because before that I've never worked with a startup, to be very frank. So it was all like they were like
Yeah, all were large companies
large
basically.
companies,
Yes,
and
yes.
so multimillionaires. So I think I thought that startup would be likely very messed up because that was the outside scenario that we have perceived. But somehow after joining BookingJini, I got to know that it's always the startup that grows into MNC, let's say. So I believe my journey has been very smooth, so to say. I felt, it's cliched, but people say that that corporate can never be family, although they, think it as a extended family. But for me, it has been a family on realistic grounds, and that is something that I followed till date. And I believe that I am working for my organization rather than someone else.
That's very overwhelming to know from you, Piyush. So rightly you said you have always worked with a multi-billion-dollar company. I remember you have worked for significant one of the largest tech in India, and then you have also worked with various engineering companies who are very large. So from there to a startup which is growing, 200 crore valuation currently, having doing lot of A/B testing while we experiment with lot of strategies inside BookingJini. How do you see this transition? I mean, where you come from a highly process oriented company where everything is a process, and you come here that where we each day we are developing processes around what we do. How is the difference that you look at?
So I believe the answer is in the question itself. So working with enterprises, definitely they have already developed the process which we need to follow. But the exciting part about working in BookingJini, or let's say any startup, would be that I would be a part of something which is going to nurture. Like culture is getting nurtured, so it is getting built. So the most interesting part is I would be a part of it. So that is something that drives me till date, and I
Great.
believe I would be a contributor to the same.
For sure. Piyush, let us go back to your little bit of your personal life. When you were growing up early in school, I'm sure that more exciting a person like you, who is always loves to be in a group and with friends around. So how was your upbringing, and tell me some good things about those days, early days of your academics.
So while I was growing up, I think what the personality that I wear today, I was the opposite of it.
Okay.
So if someone would analyze me on that part, they would never think that this person is going to be a salesperson in
Oh, wow.
future.
So you are more of introvert those days?
Yeah, I was completely introvert, and I was into academics,
Got
very
it.
deep into the academics. Now I don't think I'm that much into, but I think creativity is something that develops over time. When you mature, you get to know what is there for you, and somehow sales is something which I have got connected to with the time passing on, and I believe so. The interesting part is until class 12, I always aspired to become a doctor.
That
but
is my aspiration also.
but but something everything has its destiny. So I think my
Correct.
destiny is sales.
Sales. Okay. So tell me something about sales. Like you have been selling things. So how do you rate that? How important is relationships building in sales, or what? I mean, what would be the two three things that those people who are looking at this particular podcast and are into sales? Any takeaway from them?
Yes. So there are different phases of sales, or we can say there are different forms of sales. So people usually think sales means there's a shop and there's a salesperson who is selling it to the customer whom he probably met for the first time. So there's no rapport, there's no I think relation. But herein what I think is the first thing that needs to be broken is the rapport. You need to break the ice to get connected to someone whom you are selling, get to their thought process as to what they actually require and what they're willing to, and then become a consultant to them rather than a salesman. Because a salesman can only sell products, but I think a real salesperson can actually sell values.
That's an interesting point you raised. You brought in table, Piyush, that a salesperson is a predominantly a consultant, and
Yes.
when you become a consultant, you become more trustworthy and you can sell better.
Correct.
Great, that's a great insight you have given. So Piyush, I think we came very close to each other when we were in the training sessions where I was personally handling the training of your cohort of team, those who were onboarded. So how was that experience? Can you share a bit about that?
So I think so those I exactly remember it was like 31 days. So if you ask me to narrate each day, I can exactly narrate you
Oh,
each and every
wow.
moment. Obviously,
That's
so
interesting.
because the thing being, we never had any downtime for that matter on those 31 days. So the exciting part was I never surfaced any organization that would train me on the parts, on values, on principles. So seven habits was one of those books which became a, I would say, a life bible for me. So
Happy to know that.
thank you. And going on those values, on those principles, I definitely believe that not only we, but each and everyone working in corporate should follow that, and then sky's the limit.
So what are your two takeaways from that training?
So obviously, one thing was like it is always better to respond responsibly rather than react to any situation, which I think I've ardently followed. And
Yeah.
after there were few instances where we were tested on those things, and somehow I passed, and thanks to you, sir. And second thing being the priorities, we need to always set priorities to our tasks so that our life becomes simpler, our life becomes more organized.
So you are talking about that urgent, important
Yes,
matrix,
yes, the
right?
big rocks thing. So I think that somehow shaped up my day-to-day routine and day-to-day goals and targets.
Great,
So
great.
which is highly essential for a salesperson.
Absolutely. Great. So Piyush, there are a lot of youngsters like you. You are in a very, very early stage of your career, and there are a lot of youngsters who are just looking, just maybe 3 years younger to you or 4 years younger to you. And it's a personal opinion. I feel they are lost in the world of too many suggestions coming to them, too many advices coming to them through Instagram, through WhatsApp. It has become those universities of WhatsApp university. So I think you have quickly gone through all those things. You have hardware learned a lot of tough things, or how do you come out of the comfort zone and all. So is there something that you want to share to your younger version of yours? Like, let's say 5 years ago, if this Piyush should have met that Piyush, what would you tell him?
So my first recommendation would be to stop learning from social media. So I think I was also a victim to those days, and wherein social media was my go-to source for information. But somehow I realized with time it is going to be people like who are highly informed, who are highly learned. Apart from that, I think books are the best companion that anyone could have to learn about life, about business, about finances, money, anything you say, and books are the solution to that.
Correct. Great. So, you have been there in BookingJini so far long, and a lot of people who are watching this video will be interested to join BookingJini. So, can you share something about the culture of BookingJini, about the environment of BookingJini that you have been witnessing since a couple of years now?
So the first thing is discipline, which I believe after a startup who has grown due to discipline have after becoming an enterprise they have not capable enough to carry forward those discipline. But I think discipline is the first thing that someone joining BookingJini could learn. Second thing is being getting in touch with the CEO. I don't think nowadays any startup for that matter would have this access wherein I have a access wherein I can take suggestions from you. I can talk directly to you for both professional and personal matters. And you being a learned person, you being I told you this that after joining BookingJini, I didn't knew the real meaning of mentor, but I think you were my first mentor. So I definitely believe that yes, discipline. Second thing is learning, and third thing being a part of a process wherein you are contributing to culture. So since I've worked with organization where culture was the biggest concern of people leaving the organizations, I believe I am here to contribute greatly and in a very healthy way to build a healthy culture, so to say. So
Great.
these three things drives me, and I believe any youngster would also love these points, and they are welcome to BookingJini.
Amazing. So with that, I think thank you so much, Piyush, for whatever wonderful things you are building in BookingJini and helping me to build this organization to a unicorn soon. And I'm sure people who are watching this video would highly benefited from your deliberations. So that was Piyush for you. Thank you so much, and let's look forward for yet another video soon.